All right, what's up, guys? This is your host Jay from Inside Out. How you guys doing out there tonight? Hope everybody's well. As you guys know, I got a special show for you guys tonight, talking about the COVID-19 update here in Washington State, and it's not looking good. So I don't really have a lot of good news on that. Wish I did. And also, I'll be talking about the Jailhouse Lawyer Handbook, which is also very important for you guys to watch or not watch, I'm sorry, study, and know how to file a lawsuit inside prisons if your locked up loved one has that or an opportunity to do so. So it's very credible that we talk about these topics. Make sure you guys put in your comments in the comment section. Hit that like button and share this video so everybody else can use this advice for themselves and for their locked up loved ones. All right, so let's get into it, guys, right here live from Inside Out. All right, guys. Welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As you guys know, we have a pretty bad event going on right now with this COVID-19. It's really bad out here, but it's even worse inside of our prisons, as you guys know. And I actually have the update for Washington State's data. I'm getting this off of the DOC webpage for the Department of Corrections data. Now, keep in mind, you guys, you have to understand that DOC's webpage itself is not 100% credible. So if you guys want to know exactly what's going on with your locked up loved one here in this state, you're going to have to do some research or get a hold of an activist that can have inside information coming in, because DOC is not 100% honest. All right. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and kind of whiz by this. I do have one good news, though, and it's one of the prisons that I was updating you last time on, and I will touch on that here in just a second. All right, so let's go through this list real quick. The numbers have changed since I talked with you guys last. Here it is. All right, so Airway Heights Correctional Center. All right, that's in the Spokane region or Spokane area, if you guys know where that's at. Right now, according to DOC's webpage, they have 792 confirmed active cases. That's pretty bad in there. All right, and of course, there's no such thing as social distancing in there. It's virtually impossible. So they're spreading the virus quicker in there than they are out here. But the good news is a lot of these prisons are getting the chance to wear masks, thanks to other activists that have brought awareness to that. So anyway. So right now, again, Airway Heights has 792 confirmed COVID-19 cases and 0 deaths. So that's good news there when it comes to people passing away on this thing. Cedar Creek Correctional Center has 0. Now again, keep in mind it's the Cedar Creek. According to my sources, this is not accurate, and I don't have the number in front of me, so I apologize on that. But Cedar Creek says on here that they have no confirmed cases, but it's hard to believe. All right. Kilon Bay Correction Center, they have also 0 cases. But again, if you have somebody that is locked up over there in that prison, I suggest you check your sources besides DOC's webpage, and they will tell you exactly what is there and what's not there. But again, I'm just going by what I have in front of me, so bear with me. All right, Coyote Ridge Correctional Center has 346 confirmed COVID-19 cases, and 2 people have passed away due to that virus. Now, keep in mind, guys, Coyote Ridge, I think it is. No, Coyote Ridge, we're good. Never mind, I got that mixed up. Coyote Ridge has 346 confirmed cases. All right, moving on. Larch Correctional Center, this is misleading and incorrect data. According to this webpage, though, it's 0 people with the virus and 0 people have died with this virus. According to other sources, the numbers are up there. All right, so I don't know why DOC is not being honest here. Mission Creek Correctional Center has 0 and 0 deaths. Monroe, which is where my locked up loved one's at, they have 69 confirmed cases of COVID-19. But again, that number is different. According to my locked up loved one, there's been 300 plus active cases inside Monroe, and that's just coming from my locked up loved one. So that's incorrect data, as I told you. So you can't count on this webpage being a complete 100% honest. All right. Now, Stafford Creek has 247 confirmed cases, ladies and gentlemen, and that number is not correct either. But I do have some good news on Stafford Creek. Last time I told you guys there was a riot that was going on down there at that prison. Now keep in mind, I just got confirmed from other activists and whatnot that believe it or not, was a training drill or a drill. So it wasn't even a real riot. It was just practice for the staff members, according to what I was told. Now, if I'm wrong, put your comment what in there and what you know, and fill it in and let me know if I'm wrong or right. I can handle it. All right. So with that said, where was I? Washington Correctional Center has 411 confirmed COVID-19 cases. Absolutely disgrace. But DOC is doing what they can. I do got to give them props where it's due. They are doing what they can to try to keep this virus from spreading. But in there, it's virtually impossible, as you guys know. All right. Washington Correctional Center for Women has 9 confirmed cases and 0 deaths. All right. Washington State Penitentiary, big number, 354 confirmed COVID-19 cases. That's a lot, and 1 death has happened in that prison. So all my condolences and whatnot go out to those families that lost their loved one in prison. Not a good thing. All right. Now, I don't know if I'm going to speak on work release. I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably have a locked up loved one doing work release right now. I'll just go real quick through these because I want to get to my main topic for tonight anyways before my time expires. Bellingham work release has 16 confirmed cases, and this is work release now, guys, so keep that in mind. Bishop Lewis work release has 36, and both of those work release areas have 0 deaths. All right. Another one that has 1 confirmed case is Helen B. Ratcliffe work release. That's a tongue twister just in itself. Has 1 confirmed case, 0 death. All right. Progress House work release has 16 confirmed cases. All right. So basically, in a nutshell, a whole entire state, in the incarceration population, there's 2,306 confirmed COVID-19 cases, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Active cases are 1,449. Again, I don't know if this is true or accurate information. I suggest you guys do your research on that. Recovered cases, a little bit good news. 853 individuals have recovered from this virus, and there's been 4 deaths. All right. So if you guys want this info for whatever it's worth, and you want to read it in its entirety, go to DOC webpage here in Washington, and you can look it up right there. They have a whole page on this, and everything's right there in front of your eyes. So look that up if you want to, and go through what you can see, and you guys can make your own conclusions, especially if you have a locked up loved one in there. You know, this information is not true and accurate. All right, guys? So with that said, I hope that helps with today's update. Of course, I will update you constantly once I get new information and share it with you guys, as you guys know. All right? Moving on to the next thing. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm going to be talking about the most popular book from a prison aspect anyways. It's called the Jailhouse Lawyer Handbook. Now, again, I've done a show on this before in the past, but it got deleted due to my shutdown and all the haters I have. But with that said, I will do another show tonight on this book, and I want you guys to make sure that if you have a locked up loved one in whatever prison that you belong to, or they belong to, I should say, excuse me, please make sure that this information gets out to them so they can use it to help them in their lawsuit, because lawsuits happen all the time in prisons, as you know. And DOC and other individuals don't like this information to be shared. All right. Now, before I carry on with this book is made for all levels, from the county jail side to the state side and all the way up to the federal side. All right. So wherever you're locked up, I'm sorry, that's a tongue twister for me for some reason. Wherever your locked up loved one's at, okay, you guys can use this book to sue. All right. Anywhere in DOC's custody. All right. So let me see if you guys have any comments going on here before I carry on. It looks like there's no comments in here. All right. Well, it's all good. In any event, moving on. So here's what constitutes a lawsuit in our jails, prisons. All right. The first one I'm going to read off to you guys happens the most in there. All right. So it is called guard or prisoner brutality or harassment. All right. Now, before I go any more further down this list, I want to make sure that you guys understand the procedures of how this all works. Okay. So again, you have to let your loved one know that they have to exhaust and use the grievance system more than once before they can just go out and file a lawsuit. So make that, a notice to them that they have to do that step by step by step, or their lawsuit's not going to be fruitful. All right, does that make sense? So keep that in mind as we go along here, guys. All right. So that was number one. Again, number one was guard or prisoner brutality or harassment. So if there's any type of brutality or harassment going on inside those prisons, your loved one has a possible lawsuit. All right. So keep that in mind as we go along. All right. Number two, unsafe cell or prison conditions. And this fits perfectly due to the COVID-19 pandemic. All right. So if the prisons aren't doing what they're supposed to do and take care of the situation with the COVID, believe it or not, people can set up that for a lawsuit too as well if they don't do what they're supposed to do. And that's everything from, hand sanitizer, cleaning supplies, soap, all of that. You're all titled to that. Even if you can't afford it, you are titled to those hygiene products to keep yourself clean in there and away from the virus, including the masks. All right. So there's that. Anyways, number three, censorship or extremely limited mail, phone, or visit privileges. All right. Now, the phone and the mail and the tablets are being used a lot more now because a lot of the prisons, especially here in this state, are under quarantine. So they can't get a hold of nobody out here. So they're using those a lot more. So prisons, or I'm sorry, DOC likes to control that. All right. Now, if they have a legitimate reason to control that, then it is what it is on that. But if they do it just deliberately and take away your privileges, again, your locked up loved one could very well have a possible lawsuit. Make sure you have your evidence in hand before you file these dang things. All right. Number four, inaccurate medical care, especially when it comes to COVID-19. If somebody is sick in there, they have a right, by all means, they have a right to be taken care of. And if they don't get taken care of when it comes to the COVID, right there, just in itself, they have a possible lawsuit. All right, guys? I know I'm going through this fast. The next one is inaccurate food. We're all DOC prisons in all 50 states have a certain amount of food that they're supposed to receive. They go under that, that's a big no-no, and you can file for a lawsuit. All right, I hope this information is helping you guys. The next one is racial, sexual, or ethnic discrimination. None of that is allowed in there. I mean, absolutely none of that. And if DOC or staff members or even inmates conduct that type of business, you have a possible setup for a lawsuit. All right, I hope that makes sense to you guys. Last but not least, placement in the hole without a hearing. We all have the right to have due process of law, even in there. So if DOC or whoever works in there takes you away from the due process of law rights, you have a right to sue just under that itself. All right, guys? And then, of course, like I said at the very top, and this is the most important thing that you guys have to understand. I want you guys, and tell your locked up loved one to do it as well, that you have to exhaust the whole entire prison grievance system. All right? You don't do that first and conduct yourself a paper trail, you ain't going to have a lawsuit. All right? It's just as simple as that. And I'll break it down to you like this, and it says this in this book. And if you want this book, you can download it right now for free off of Google from a PDF file, and you can mail it in and send it into your locked up loved one, and they can have this. It's not illegal to have. All right, it's great information for your locked up loved one. Anyways, it says this: use all the steps in the prison complaint or grievance system and write up your concerns in detail. I can't stress that enough to you guys. In detail. You can't just go and that's it and file it. They need more than just a few words. They need detail after detail after detail explaining the reason why they're filing this lawsuit. Normally, and not all the time, but normally they will take care of it through the grievance, and then you won't have to do a lawsuit. But sometimes, in some cases, and it's been proven, DLC ignores a lot of the grievances and all of that. So keep that in mind as we go along here, all right? Because again, they think, for whatever the reason may be, the grievances that you file get tossed in the garbage, or whatever happens to them, or they get lost, and they say they never got it. That's the reason why when you do any type of paperwork, again, I can't stress this enough, make sure you make a hard copy of all your documents that you're filing. That way they can't come to you and say, oh, I never received it, I never got it, and we all know the truth on that, all right? And again, if you guys don't know anything about the law or how it works, especially the ones in there, find yourself a legal beagle in prison. They're everywhere in there. I'm pretty sure you can find one, all right? But if you guys have an issue, you cannot get the help that you need when it comes to these lawsuits and how they work and all this stuff that goes along with it, then then hire yourself an attorney. All right, and this is step number 3. Try to get help, it says. Consider trying to hire a lawyer or talking to a jailhouse lawyer, because they do exist in there, a lot of them. And be sure to request a Pro Se Section 1983 packet from your prison law library or the district court. All right, you're entitled to that. Again, I'll say it again, 1983 Pro Se Section packet. You can get those. They're in there. You're allowed to have those by law. All right, so I'm hoping that the information I'm sharing to you guys will be doable for all of you. And again, I want you guys to share my stuff, so that way when it gets out there, somebody else comes across this video and go, oh, this is pretty good information. I want you guys to share this, like it, and make a comment down below to let me know what kind of question and whatnot you have here tonight from Inside Out. Okay? All right. Next thing I want to share with you guys, and I'll come back at this and redo a recap on this just in case you missed it. But I wanted to touch base on one more thing, and that's called our Bill of Rights. A lot of you should already know what that is and what it explains. So let me go ahead and get into the Bill of Rights real quick. I got to get my page pulled up, so bear with me. Does anybody have any questions as of right now? I don't see anybody in here. You figure out what's going on here. Bear with me, guys. Gotta figure out why I can't see any of your guys' comments. Interesting. Well, in any event, no biggie. I'm pretty sure you guys can get a hold of me a little bit later down the road when it comes down to it, if you need me to. So I'm going to show you the Bill of Rights, what it means, and what's all in it, so you guys know. Because the Bill of Rights basically fits the Jailhouse Lawyer Handbook like a glove. So let me see here if I can pull this up and it's going to cooperate. All right. Hope everybody can hear me okay and there's no connection issues. All right. Basically, the Bill of Rights explain in great detail the First Amendment, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th part of the Bill of Rights. All right. Now, I'm going to hit the number 8 one because obviously number 8 goes very well, including number 1 and number 2, with the Jailhouse Lawyer Handbook, especially when you have a locked up loved one. All right. So let me hit number 8 real quick. Let's see if it's going to work. That's not working. Great. Why is that? Okay, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to figure out what is the problem with my information. I had it all here and then it just disappeared. Well, I guess I'm not going to be talking about the Bill of Rights because I lost I lost my info wherever it was supposed to be at. Great. In any event, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'm going to recap real quick and also recap on the update of the COVID-19 here in Washington State. No comments. That's interesting. Wow. I kind of figured there'd be a lot more people in here interacting with me. No biggie. In any event, let me go ahead and talk about the rights real quick when it comes to your locked up loved one and what they can do when it comes to lawsuit. I want to recap that real quick, but before I do that, actually, I want to go back over to the DOC's webpage. And let you guys all know the updates on there. Good news is, out there in Stafford Creek, there was no riot. It was a drill or a training session. So it wasn't a real riot. Somebody got their information mixed up. But it happens. All right, if you guys have just tuned in for whatever reason, again, Airway Heights here in Washington, that one's out there by Spokane. Airway Heights is 792 confirmed cases, all right, but 0 deaths, so that's good news there. Cedar Creek has 0. Clon Bay has 0. And Coyote Ridge has 346 confirmed cases. Larch has 0, but that's wrong. Mission Creek is 0. Again, Mission Creek, that's wrong. Monroe Correctional, where my locked up loved one's at, has 69, but according to my loved one, there's 300 confirmed cases. So that just goes to show you how truthful DOC's webpage is and how I keep telling you not to trust it. Olympic Correction Center, 0. Stafford Creek has 247 confirmed cases, guys. 247. Washington Correctional Center has 411. Washington State Penitentiary has 354 confirmed cases. All right, and in total, here in all the prisons here in this state, anyways, confirmed cases 2,306. Active cases 1,449, and recovered cases 853. So people actually have recovered from this COVID-19 virus. So that's good news there. And then there's 4 deaths in all the prisons combined. All right. Let's see. And then, of course, there's work release and all that. I'm not going to read those anymore. Like I said, you want this information in its entirety, go to DOC's webpage right now and look it up for yourself, and you can see it's all there. All right. Make sure that you guys know what your locked up loved one's rights are when it comes to the information I'm telling you about the Jailhouse Lawyer Handbook, because, again, you know, if they are being abused, if there's any type of medical care issues going on in there, they can sue the Department of Corrections for those issues. All right. But again, make sure that step 2, or I call it step 1, is used. All right. Exhaust the prison grievance system. Use all the steps in the prison complaint or grievance system and write up your concerns in detail. All right. That's step 1. All right. Appeal it all the way and save your paperwork. Again, I can't stress that enough. You got to save your paperwork. Otherwise, you'll be like, well, I don't have this, I don't have that. Well, if you don't have it, oh well. You must do this before filing a lawsuit. And that's the key thing here, guys. You must do all of those things before your locked up loved one can file a lawsuit. All right. So, and here's what all constitutes lawsuit in either county jail, state prisons, or federal prisons. All right, because this book is for all three of those. All right. It says, know your rights. Ask yourself, have my federal rights been violated? And it happens in there all the time, as you guys know. If you have experienced one of the following, the answer may be yes. And here it is. Number one, guard or prisoner brutality or harassment. If there's harassment going on in there of any kind, or guard or prison I can't even talk tonight. Prisoner brutality, you have a lawsuit. All right. Unsafe cell or prison conditions. And that can be anything, not just from COVID, but that means dirty, unsanitary. There's garbage everywhere. There's, especially in the South, some prisons have roaches, stuff of that nature. And that's unhealthy, unsanitary living conditions. And believe it or not, all those inmates can do a Class A or just a single-handedly do a lawsuit in there, just on those conditions. All right? Because believe it or not, guys, listen, our taxes pay for those prisons to operate. Our tax money is going into those prisons. I spoke on that too a while back and did a show on it. 2019's data was $200 billion of our tax dollars going into our prisons. Yes, you heard me correctly on that, folks. $200 billion. That's with a B. That's a lot of dang money going into our system. And they can't help keep it clean, really. Anyways, so that was number one, guard or prisoner brutality or harassment. Number two, unsafe cell or prison conditions. All right. Number three, censorship, meaning your First Amendment's being violated. We have the right to free speech. All right. And if they get censorship in there, you have a lawsuit. You have a right to talk on how you want to talk and what you have to say. They can't shut you up in there. Or extremely limited mail, meaning that you get your mail banded, or you don't get letters, or keeping your mail, stuff like that. Phone or visit privileges, because we all, with COVID-19, there's exemptions now because COVID-19 is keeping us from visiting our loved ones from a physical form. Okay, but that's okay. That's okay. As soon as COVID-19 is done and over with, we should be able to go visit our loved ones in person. And they can't take that away unless you're in the hole or you did something wrong. But again, make sure you have your evidence in hand. That way it'll make sure your lawsuit is fruitful. Next one is inaccurate medical care. And that's happening right now as I sit here and talk to you guys when it comes to COVID-19. People are not being taken care of in there. All right? So make sure you check your info. And if there's proof of that, when it comes to medical and all that, you have a possible lawsuit. That's uncalled for. Let's see, where was I on that? Oh, interference with practicing your religion. We all have right to a certain amount of religion, whether you're a Christian, a Jew. It doesn't matter what you are. Whatever you believe in, you have a right to practice it in there. They can't take that away from you. Inaccurate food. Okay, so again, they can't take your food away from you. You're actually allowed a certain amount, and I did a show on that too. And I might have to redo these shows that I did before in the past just to bring them back to show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm hoping that makes sense with you guys. All right, next one is racial, sexual, or ethnic discrimination. They cannot discriminate against you no matter what race you are, what sex you are, or any of that. You have a right to live comfortably in there, and they cannot discriminate against you on that. All right. Last but not least, guys, is placement in the hole without a hearing. Yeah, people go in the hole all the time, and in some cases they don't give you a hearing for to ask you or tell you why you went to the hole. What was the cause of the reason why you went to the hole? If they don't give you a hearing on it, that's illegal, and you can sue them for that. All right. So I'm hoping all this information is telling to you guys, and you guys can use this information when it comes to the prisoner lawyer handbook. Now, keep in mind, this handbook is free. It doesn't cost anything or any of you to download this and send it in to your locked up loved one. All right? Don't send it in if they don't need it, but if they have something going on inside prison, send it in. All right? Because they're entitled to it. They have a right to have it. Of course, DOC has believe it or not, DOC is denied this book. And there's other ways you guys can bring this book in if you have a problem just sending it in standard mail. Find yourself like a attorney's office who would do it basically for pennies on a dollar, or maybe just pay for the postage. Go to an attorney's office and have them mail it to them and stamp it on their legal mail. All right. Go to your bookstore anywhere in your state and have them do it. There's ways besides just yourself to get this book in there. They're going to do what they can to keep this information out of their eyes. All right. They have a right to have this book. And believe it or not, this book is 152 pages long. There's 152 pages. So make sure that when you download this and copy it off, you have, I would take it to a place like Kinko's or a copy place and get it done there. It's quicker. They have better machines. If you're going to do it at home, it's going to suck your ink up. But that's 152 pages worth of information. All right, guys. All right, let me see if there's any comments now in here. And it don't look like there is. That's odd, because there was last time. Are you guys all having a connection problem? I wouldn't doubt it. Well, guys, it's 7:01. I usually go to 7:30, but because there's nobody in here and I've already expelled everything that I wanted to tell you guys about tonight's topics and on tonight's show, I'm going to go ahead and just back out of here early. Again, if you guys have questions, comments, concerns on this book or the other information I shared with you guys tonight, please leave a comment, share my info, and hit that like button just to let me know you're in here at least. And we can go from there, all right? So next week, depending on what I got going on, what my calendar shows, I'm going to do what I can to bring even more insight and information when it comes to our prisons, all right? So stay tuned for that. Now, if you don't belong to any of my platforms, please send me an email and I will hook you up either on here or an email or instant message, whatever you want to do, whatever's easier. And I will hook you up with my platforms with my links that I have, all right? Because I can't do it verbally. It's virtually impossible. But I do belong to YouTube. Head over to YouTube right now and subscribe to my channel. The link should be already in this page. I also belong to Twitter. I also belong to Instagram. Anchor.fm is another one. I'm looking at other sites too as well as I'm speaking to you. So follow me on all my platforms. Send me an email and I'll hook you up. All right. With that said, I'm going to back out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and the information that I had told you. Use it and send it in to your locked up loved one to help them file a lawsuit, because DOC needs to be held accountable and show their fair share of transparency. All right, guys. With that said, I'm out of here. Peace. Take care. Good night, everybody.